Good morning, students. How are you all? I hope you all are fine. Let's start today's class. So, students, we will revise in this class. We will revise our block number 11 in English. Okay. So, first, look at this story. So, there is a story in the tale of Peter Rabbit. Now, can you tell me which kind of story is this? This is fiction story or non-fiction? This is fiction or non-fiction? So, I will tell you what is fiction and what is non-fiction. So, first of all, we talk about the fiction. Fiction stories are that stories that are not real. That are not real. They are imaginary. Okay, they are not real. Their characters are not real. Okay, it it is based on imagination. Okay, next we will talk about the non-fiction. Non-fiction stories are real stories. Non-fiction are the real stories. These kind of stories are based on a day, on a life, based on a life, or based on an based on a character's life. uh, a fiction, for the example of the fiction story, of a fiction movie is that MS Dhoni, that is the based on Dhoni's life. Okay, so non-fiction. Okay, so students, look at the story, that is fiction or non-fiction. So this story is fiction. Okay, this story is fiction story. Now we will talk about the elements of a fiction story. So elements of the fiction stories are elements. So elements of the story is, first one, the element is characters. Characters. Next one is setting. Next one is problem. Next one is rising climax. Sorry, rising action. And next one is climax of the story. So now characters. We will talk about the story The Peter Tale. Who are the characters? So the characters are Flossy, Mossy. In this story, there are the characters are Floss, Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail, Peter, and their mother and Mr. McGregor. Okay, so these are the characters of the story. Now, can you tell me the setting? The setting is garden. Okay, now what is the problem in the story? The problem in the story is the problem of the story is McGregor's. Peter go to the McGregor's garden. Next one is rising action. The rising action is when Peter is being chased by Mr. McGregor around the garden and the shade. वो जब एक्शन पार्ट होता है, राइजिंग एक्शन आजकल, उसने क्या किया, वो चेज कर रहा था, chased by the Mr. McGregor garden. Peter is chased by the Mr. McGregor's garden. Okay, and last one is the climax. So climax is the part of conclusion. So the conclusion part is Peter is at home tired and sick, but he is with be happy with his family. Okay, and the problem, when the problem happened, when Peter go to the Mr. McGregor's garden. Okay, so these are the parts for elements of the story. We call that animals of the story: characters, setting, problem, rising action, and climax. So can you tell me this is a real there is this is a realistic story or this is a non-fiction story. So real this is non this is fiction. Okay, and we call it also fantasy story. Okay, what are the fantasy story? Fantasy story that cannot be happen in real life. This is a fantasy story. ये fantasy थी आपकी. Fantasy story are that story that don't that cannot which cannot happen in the real life. Okay, so we call it also fiction. In that kind of story, some and there are the animal characters, and there are some events that are real and some are imaginary, mostly based on imaginary. Okay, students, next we will talk the next topic from this block: sensory details. Your next topic is sensory details. Now sensory, तो sensory relate कर रहा है. How many sense organs we have? We have five sense organs. First one is see. Next one is hear. Next one feel. Next one smell. And last one is taste. So we will see with the eyes, we will hear with our ears, we will feel with the skin, we will smell with the nose, and we will taste with the tongue. So how many sense organs? Five sense organs. So now tell me, students, what Peter Rabbit saw in the garden. So in the story, so he saw the garden. Peter see the garden, mouse, Mr. McGregor. उसने क्या क्या देखा वहाँ पे? Garden, mouse, Mr. McGregor. Here he heard the sound of scritch. ऐसी साउंड आ रही थी ना, स्क्रिच की साउंड आई. नेक्स्ट फीलिंग इज स्केयर्ड. शी फील स्केयर्ड. स्मेल, he smelled the he smelled vegetable की smell आई. And he taste radish, lettuce and beans. Okay, I hope it is clear to you, students. Now your next topic is order words. Now your next topic is order words. What are the order words? Order words are like that words: first, next, then, after that, finally, and later. So student, these words are called order words. Order में लगाना किसी भी things को. What will happen first, what will happen next, what will happen then, what it happen after that, we happen later, we happen finally, we happen suddenly also. Order word suddenly. So student, these are the meanwhile. Meanwhile is also order words. Okay, students. So student, these are the order words. What will happen in the story, what will happen next, then, after that, finally, later, suddenly. कुछ कोई the word the word meanwhile क्या होता है? The word meanwhile describe an event that is happening at the same time as the another. मीनवाइल क्या करता है? मीनवाइल वहाँ लगाते हैं जब ये वर्ड डिस्क्राइब करता है जब एक इवेंट हुआ है और उसी के बाद जैसे उसी टाइम सेम टाइम में दूसरा इवेंट भी हो रहा है. सो देन वी यूज मीनवाइल order word. And the word suddenly describe an action that happened quickly that happened quickly and without warning. विदाउट वार्निंग के जो एक्सीडेंट हो एकदम से सडनली चीज़ें जो होती हैं दैट वी कॉल्ड सडनली. I hope students it is clear to you. So students, thank you for watching this video. Watch it carefully. After that you will revise your block number 11 in English.